Hello everyone! Today we're making magnificent chicken Kiev, but not just any chicken Kiev, we're making fish chicken Kiev. A crispy crust with butter and dill inside. This recipe was given to me by my subscriber Velichka Nadezhda. Nadezhda, these cutlets are just amazing. I already have a whole stock in the freezer. I recommend it to everyone. So let's start with the breading. You need to take a regular loaf, cut it into pieces, and dry the cubes in the oven to make breadcrumbs. They should be coarsely ground. This way, the cutlets turn out tasty, light and crispy. Overall much better than store-bought breadcrumbs. Now take some soft butter. It has been sitting on my kitchen table for about 2 hours. Into the soft butter, I add dill. Add dill to taste, just by eye. As much as you have at home. I have a lot, so I'll take these sprigs, remove them, and leave only the small dill. It needs to be chopped very finely and added to the butter. Start chopping the dill very finely. First I chop it like this, and then I mince it with a knife. Add the finely chopped dill like this to the butter. I recommend doing it with dill. With parsley, well, I don't like it. It has a sharp taste. And in general, even Kiev-style meat cutlets are made specifically with dill. So make sure to salt the butter. Now take a small container and put foil in it. Well, I find it most convenient with foil. More convenient than parchment. And very carefully transfer the butter here. Now I spread it out evenly like this. You can take a slightly larger tray, then everything will freeze faster in the freezer. Like this. I don't cover it. I leave it like this. And put it in the freezer for an hour at least, for 40 minutes. We will be making the cutlets from Pike-perch. I have already taken cleaned fish carcasses. Now I will just remove all the bones and the fillet. I will make mince from it. If you buy uncleaned fish, you need to clean it completely, process it, and use only the fillet. You can even not clean the fish. But since there were already cleaned carcasses available, I took them. Cut all the fillet into small pieces. Instead of pike-perch, you can use hake pollock, basically any white fish you can find. And we pass all of this through a meat grinder. Take 4 pieces of bread and soak them in milk. Like this. Take 2 onions, medium-sized, cut them into 4 parts and pass them through the meat grinder, along with the fish. I will also add 2 cloves of garlic, or you can use 3. Gently squeeze the bread well and add it to the meat grinder as well. Now from the spices, add salt to taste, as much as you like. Be sure to add basil. I have about half a teaspoon of dried basil, and add some pepper, just regular pepper. I take just a small amount, about half a teaspoon of white pepper. I crush it like this. And I add some more white pepper. Add 2 eggs here as well. And mix everything together. You should end up with this kind of mince. It holds its shape well, see? Now we will form the patties. The breadcrumbs we made, we put them in a blender and turn them into crumbs. After grinding everything, there are a few large pieces like this. I remove them, I will grind them again. And all of this can be poured out. Look, you get this medium-sized crumb, a frozen piece of butter. We have just prepared everything, and the butter has solidified. I cut it into small sticks like this. Well, it still cuts well. Now look, cut this stick in half and like this. And this goes into one patty. But just see what kind of tray you have. I cut them into pieces approximately like this. I place all of this on foil and put it back in the freezer for a little while, just until I prepare everything and start assembling. Beat a few eggs with salt, like this. And we will form the patties. The patties should not be too large, so they have time to cook through. And don't burn on the outside. I take a tablespoon of minced meat. You can add a little more later. Place a piece of butter right in the middle here. A little more minced meat on top. And we form a patty. Like this, a small one. I have a small hand. Like this. Now, first dip it in the egg. And now in the breadcrumbs. Like this. This is how the patties turn out. We place them on some container for freezing. I just take a glass board like this and we'll freeze them like this. They turn out to be small. Today, we are kind of making semi-finished products. You can make plenty of these fish patties and send them to the freezer. They store perfectly, and then you'll always have patties, ready for dinner or lunch as needed. Like this. And like this with breadcrumbs. Here are the patties that turned out. Today I ended up with 17 pieces, but I made them not too small. I want you to see that these patties of mine are a bit larger. And here I made a few really tiny ones. If you make them small like this, you get 20, 22. If they are a bit larger, like today, I got 17, well, around 20 pieces per kilogram of fish. We put them in the freezer and let them freeze completely. In fact, you can freeze them like this, then put them in a bag and fry them. So you can proceed in two ways. You can make a double batter, meaning once the patties are frozen, make the same batter again and freeze them once more. And they will be ready and waiting for when you want to eat them. Or you can slowly defrost as many patties as you need. Also, dip them in the second batter and directly onto the pan. Both ways are possible. So we freeze them and then we'll try cooking to see what happens. We took the patties out of the freezer. They sat for about 20 minutes and they separate well. Now the patties can in principle be fried immediately, but I will do a second breading as indicated in the recipe, and I will have such preparations in the freezer. I'll fry a few and show you how they turned out. So once more into the egg. And into breadcrumbs. Set the heat to below medium. Pour oil into the pan. Well, enough, about 1 centimeter, maybe a little more. And place the cutlets in there. Fry them on low heat, gradually turning them from side to side so they don't burn on the outside and cook through on the inside. So don't use high heat. I don't put too many cutlets in at once because it will be crowded and they will draw heat. So about 5 or 4 pieces in one pan. So I fry the cutlets on low heat for 5 minutes on each side and then place them in a baking dish in the oven. I cover it all with foil for another 15 minutes. Now let's see how the cutlets turned out. Cut with a sharp knife. Oh, look, the butter is just flowing. Look at the beauty inside. The cutlets turn out super juicy. No more butter is needed. Do it like this as I showed. You can just add more garlic if you want. So let's give it a try. The crust on these cutlets is amazing, really crispy. Juicy, tender cutlets inside. For those who like it, add garlic to the butter. It will be really spicy, but that's for those who prefer it. These are delicious, juicy cutlets. Be sure to prepare them. Make a stock, so to speak, for later. There will always be some lunch or dinner in the freezer. Try it, you'll like it. On my channel, there are chicken Kiev cutlets. Make both types, but the fish ones are just great. That's all, love you. Take care. Bye.